Preparing for the November general election, James Talarico is doing a big makeover of his position on gender mutilation. This is Thursday, August 13th, 2026.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Well, thanks for making the Texas Minute part of your Thursday. The city of Fort Worth has issued a moratorium on new data centers. More on that in today's news. A government agency is trying to hide emails about expanding the scope of a controversial extra high voltage transmission line project. The agency claims its language is about meeting, quote, technical grid reliability standards. The Lower Colorado River Authority has partnered with energy giant Oncor on two segments of the statewide project that lawmakers and landowners say are being undertaken without legislative authorization. When asked for documents by Texas Scorecard, LCRA provided only heavily redacted information claiming the records, quote, reveal potential vulnerabilities to the state's power grid. Legislators like Republican State Representative Brad Buckley of Salado have been calling for more transparency from the government agencies involved with the project, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has said he wants all pending transmission line applications to be denied until after state lawmakers can examine the approval process in 2027. The Trump administration is ending the use of Medicaid and CHIP funds to pay for sex-rejecting procedures on children. That announcement came yesterday from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. That action mirrors legislation that was passed in the Texas legislature back in 2023, protecting children from the life-altering procedures that can leave them mutilated and sterilized. Dr. Mehmet Oz oversees the Medicaid program. He said the action will not only protect children, but also save taxpayer dollars. In an abrupt about-face from his legislative record, Democrat U.S. Senate candidate James Talarico now says he does not support gender mutilation surgery for minors. Talarico's record on the issue is receiving renewed scrutiny as the Trump administration moves to cut off Medicaid funding for sex-rejecting procedures on children. The issue is being highlighted in an ad produced by the American Principles Project PAC. In it, a young girl is depicted as being prepared to undergo a gender mutilation procedure with an AI-created Talarico portrayed as the doctor. The spot echoes a famous political ad from the mid-1960s. Now, by way of background, in the 2023 session, State Representative James Talarico voted against legislation prohibiting physicians from performing gender mutilation surgeries on minors, as well as stopping them from prescribing sterilizing puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for the purpose of changing a child's biologic sex. That measure was ultimately approved by the legislature and signed into law by Governor Greg Abbott. As he ramps up for the general election, Democrat James Talarico is trying to give himself a makeover. In the latest edition of her show, Come and Take It, Sarah Gonzalez exposes Talarico's efforts to digitally scrub the radical statements and policy proposals that he's posted in the past. Sarah finds that this is most notably happening on Talarico's website, where his long-standing rhetoric is being not so subtly altered. Here's one example of what Sarah found.
The word progressive completely vanished from the website. You can't find it. You cannot find his new, bold, progressive agenda on his website anymore. Because the James Talarico who is running today in 2026 is a total fraud. He is pretending to be something that he is not in order to trick Texans into electing him.
You can catch new episodes of Sarah Gonzalez's Come and Take It every Tuesday on the Texas Scorecard app, as well as on YouTube, X, and everywhere you consume media. The Fort Worth City Council has issued a temporary moratorium on new data centers. Their action was taken earlier this week. It establishes a data center commission and will require evidence of ERCOT interconnection approval before signing off on new projects. The City Council wants this moratorium period to be used to evaluate the noise and water impacts of data center facilities as well as land use compatibility. The city's moratorium is set to last an initial 90 days. Texas is commonly listed as one of the top data center hubs in the nation, with the Dallas-Fort Worth region consistently ranked number 1 for data centers in the state. You can keep up with the latest news impacting the Lone Star State by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Robert Montoya, Hunter Fleetmeyer, Addie Hovland, Brandon Waltons, and Hunter Burney. Our producer is the great Nick Shepard. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Now, go make it a great day.